We're back with another look at the mock drafts hitting the internet. We're just about 2 weeks away from the NFL draft, so needless to say, we're in the final sprint, and a lot of mock drafts are hitting the internet. Let's go to NFL.com. First, Paul Dottino, Lance Zierlein, and we're focusing on this because he is the Giants trading up from 6 to 3 to draft quarterback Drake May. Wanted to address this just because of the mechanics of it. One, you're probably going to have to wait till draft night unless you know who Washington's picking ahead of time, so you know who's there at 3. We've seen 3 2s be kind of the price for this pick, but there's going to be such competition for quarterbacks with the Raiders, Broncos, and Vikings all trying to trade up.
Right.
It's going to start with next year's one.
The law of supply and demand will raise this price much higher than what it historically has been. I did a little research on this, and the number 3 pick has been traded out 5 times since the 2000 draft. Now, the only deal that involved the 3 and the 6, John, remember the Giants are 6. Number 3 would be the Patriots, folks, if you didn't have the draft board in front of you. That was the Jets and Colts back in 2018 when the Jets went up to get Sam Darnold, okay? The price then was 2 2s in that current draft and a 2 the following year. Now, those 2 2s were 37 and 49. Well, first things first, John's right. It's going to take at least the number 1 next year. But the other thing you got to keep in mind here is that the Giants only have 1 2 this year.
And it might cost you that too.
It's definitely going to cost you at least that. And that's number 47. My suspicion, with the bidding war going on with those other 3 teams who will undoubtedly at that point be trying to get up for a quarterback, it's going to go more than that.
And Drake May is a player with very special talents. He can do it all. He has a little rough around the edges, stuff to iron out, but he's a guy that you would be shooting for the upside if you want to trade up for a guy who hits all the variables, 6'4", 220. He hits all the things you want out of a quarterback.
He does.
But again, he has some things he has to iron out. All right, let's go to ESPN. Matt Miller, friend of the program. He did a 7-round mock. God bless him. Really quick, first 2 picks in this draft, a couple of playmakers. Malik Neighbor, you talked about him a ton. Really good playmaker from LSU at 6. Then Michael Penix Jr., their 2nd-round pick, drops to the Giants at 47 out of Washington. Paul, some medical issues, but good downfield thrower.
Well, has the best cannon of any of the quarterbacks in this draft, bar none. Doesn't throw with great touch. He's more stationary in the pocket, has some escapability skills, but also does not really deal with pressure all that much. He played behind the best offensive line in college, so he didn't have a lot of duress.
More of a stationary pocket
By the way, he
passer.
had great receivers, too.
Yes. Next 2 picks I think are interesting, Paul. I want to focus on these guys. Christian Haynes, offensive guard out of UConn. We've talked about him a little bit. Really good player. And then Marshawn Lloyd, the running back out of USC, just 5'9", but almost 220 pounds. Fast, breaks tackles, not sure about the vision.
Interesting you said fast. I wrote down on the notes here, 4.46. Has a terrific burst, has some good long speed, and he's got some quicks with his maneuverability.
Yeah.
Problem is, pass protection is going to be an issue for him, and you know you got to be able to protect your quarterback to stay on the field.
Absolutely. And then Christian Haynes, again, really tough, hard-nosed guard out of UConn, did a great job at the Senior Bowl. Could help the Giants out at that position right away. Tyler Davis, defensive tackle out of Clemson around 5. Good all-around player, more of a run stopper right now.
I wrote down 4.3 defensive tackle with power, leverage, and very good off the snap at 6'2", just over 300 pounds.
Did a nice job at the Senior Bowl. And then Willie Drew, cornerback out of Virginia State.
Yeah, 6-footer, little thin on the frame. He's only about 190 pounds, ran a 4.46, has really good ball skills and instincts, but he's going to have to put a little meat on his bones to get with the rigors of the NFL.
That's a look at a couple of mock drafts right here. Stay tuned as we continue to cover it all on Giants.com, the Giants app, and all the Giants social media platforms. It was all brought to you by Crestron.